Yesterday, I have uploaded two university question papers, one for 2018 and another for 2019 in your college LMS. Have you seen all those?
No, ma'am.
Yes, check it, huh? Check it.
Okay,
So the
ma'am.
question papers are there, university question papers. So that will be some um, reference of which type of questions are coming under the semester system. Okay, because last 2 years we have this semester of sem one. So you are the third batch of sem one. So that is why you may check last two previous question papers. So today we are going to discuss the remaining portion of our demand supply analysis, and if I can finish my discussion, then I will discuss some questions from the model question paper. Okay. Uh, Before starting the supply side, we have discussed about the demand. If you have any query on demand, you can ask me. Then I will start my supply analysis. Do you have any question from the demand analysis? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am. I have a question.
Yes.
Ma'am, in ManQ, there is a paragraph that explains what is competition. There is a term price takers, but I can't understand the meaning of price takers. Can you
Okay.
elaborate it, ma'am?
Yes, price taken means, say you may be a consumer, you may be a seller. That means you may be the representative of the demand side, you may be the representative of the supply side. From any side, you can enter in the market. The thing is, you are very negligible with respect to the total market size. That means, say there are thousand or 1 lakh sellers are there, so out of this 1 lakh, you are a single seller. So you can understand the percentage of your appearance in this market. Okay. So you are very negligible in that respect. So your decision, your performance is not influencing the market as such. Okay. So here what happened, consider yourself as a consumer. Consider yourself as a consumer. Now, if you have decided that you are not satisfied with a particular product and you have decided that okay, from tomorrow I am not going to purchase that product anymore. Okay? So that means you are going to leave the market. Fine. This is your decision. You are going to leave the market. Now, what happens if you go to the market demand? The market demand, if you are leaving the market, then definitely in the market, the demand will fall. Okay, there will be a change in demand, that is a fall in demand. So, if the demand is falling, then definitely there will be an increase in price. But as you are very negligible, you are very small with respect to the market, your decision is not influencing the market. Okay. So if you are living, but the price, quantity, everything is remaining same. Nothing is changing. So that means when you are entering the market, you have to accept that whatever are there in the market, you have to accept it. The price is given to you, the quantity sold, everything is given to you. You cannot change anything for the market. Okay? Your decision, your idea, your behavior will not change the parameters of the market, the indicators of the market. Okay. So in that case, one of those parameter is the price. So when you are entering, you have to accept that this is the price. If I want to purchase that, I have to purchase it at this price. If I cannot pay that price, I have to leave the market. No other option. Price will not change for me. So that is why I am or you are the price taker. Okay, you have to accept, you have to take the price which has been determined by the market previously. Okay, so this is the concept of price taker. Price
Yes,
maker
ma'am.
is
Understood.
price maker is another extreme where you can influence the price, you can change the price. So that is how you can make the price. So that means you are very significant with respect to the market size. So you are not like this in general. When there is a competition, and specifically when there is perfect competition, you have to be a price taker. You have to accept the price.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, I think we did not receive the question papers. I checked it right now. It's not there.
No, no, no. In
Yes,
the
ma'am.
in the no, 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 not in that video lecture. Okay, it will be in your dashboard. Check, there will be as question papers, university question paper, um, assignment question papers. These are there. Within that, you can find the question paper. I have uploaded it yesterday.
Ma'am, I checked in the CU question paper and the assignment dashboard, but it was not there.
It was
I
not
don't know
there,
about
but I
others.
have uploaded.
Ma'am, I don't know about others, but for me, it's not showing.
Anyone?
Yes, ma'am. I confirmed also. You check the CU
Okay, okay,
question.
okay. So I have to check. I have to check because I have uploaded. Any mistake may be there. Okay, I will check it. I will check it, and by today, if I can, actually, it may happen that it is disabled by the college side. So if it is like that, then you cannot find. But I have uploaded it. Okay, let me just ask the person. Then I will inform you. Okay, in my next class, I will inform you what is happening with that uploading.
Okay,
But
thank
I
you,
have
ma'am.
uploaded. But don't worry, today I have some question from the model question paper which was there before that semester system. So I have some question from the part which we have already discussed. So we will share those questions and we will share the answer pattern. Okay? Today.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, you said that in a competition, uh, we have to be the prize taker.
Yes.
Ma'am, I, w- why is that, ma'am?
No, no, actually not in competition always. If it is a perfect competition, I said then after that, if it is specifically, if it is a perfect competition, then you have to be a price taker. As I said, that you cannot influence, you are very insignificant with respect to the total market size. For example, okay, take an example. Consider the market of pen. Every one of us, we are using pen. No, from different company. It may be the link, it may be the link, it may be Rotomax, it may be, I don't know other names.
Cello.
Okay, Cello. Fine. So consider these three. Most of us are using, let me assume, huh? Most of us are using link pen. Okay. So consider yourself as a person in the link market. There are thousand lakhs of people who are purchasing link pen. You are one of them. Hmm. Now suddenly you have decided you are not satisfied with link pen. Okay, so you are thinking that okay, from tomorrow I am not going to purchase link pen, so I'm leaving. So when you are leaving the market, that means definitely in the market the demand is falling because you are one of the representative of the demand side. Hmm. So you are leaving the market, so demand is falling. And if demand is falling, then price should increase. But is it happening? No. If you are leaving the market, price is same before. If the price of a newspaper is 10 rupees, so it is 10 rupees for today, it will be 10 rupees for tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So why it is so? That means 10 rupees is given. Why it is so? Because you are very insignificant. Your behavior, your decision cannot influence the market. So for you, for me, any individual, the price is given. And why it is so? Because there is a lot of competition. You are not purchasing, it's okay. Someone else is there who are ready to purchase it at 10 rupees. So that competition matters here.
Okay, ma'am. Understood.
Ma'am, ma'am, we'll be writing our roll numbers in the college MS or not?
Yes, 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 right,
Right now
right.
in the chat box.
Yes, yes, right in the chat box.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you,
right in
ma'am.
the chat. Anything else you want to ask from the demand side? Anything else you want to ask from the demand analysis? Nothing. Okay. So let me start my supply side discussion. It's very similar, but actually not the similar, just opposite. So what is supply? If you don't know economics, not to worry, because just think what the suppliers are doing. What should be the behavior of the supplier? When the price is increasing, the suppliers are also interested to sell more, right? Because the price, positive price or the increase in price is a good indicator for the suppliers. So they're happy that, okay, price of my commodity is increasing, then I should produce more, I should sell more. So, so what is the relationship between price and quantity for the seller? Positive. If price is increasing, supply is also increasing. Okay. So the quantity supplied and the price, they are positively related. Okay. So they are positively related, or look at the third point, they are directly related. Okay. So we can say they are directly related or they are positively related in case of supply. Okay. So this is actually the law of supply. So what is law of supply? Given other things, price of a commodity and quantity sold have a direct relation. That means if price is increasing, quantity sold is increasing. If price is falling, quantity sold is falling. So as there is a direct relation and you are measuring price on the vertical axis and quantity supplied on the horizontal axis. So if price is increasing, quantity supply will also increase. So that is how that SS, that is the supply curve, is positively sloped. Again, here for simplicity, I have drawn it as a straight line. You can draw it as a curve as well. Okay, no issue, but it will be positively sloped. That much is required. Okay, and what happens if it is a straight line? The analysis will be little bit easier. That is why we are trying to draw it as a straight line. When we are intersecting one curve with another, we are discussing a particular point on the supply curve, it will be easy. That is the reason behind the straight line, nothing more. Okay, so you can draw a curve, you can draw a straight line, anything. Straight line is also a curve, but anyway, you can draw a typical curve or you can draw a supply straight line, but it will be positively sloped. And one more thing, when you are interested to draw with a curve, like if you are not happy with this straight line, then draw the supply curve like this. Okay, don't draw supply curve like this. This is something wrong. Don't draw it. Don't draw it. Okay, it will be always like this or straight line. So this is the thing about the law of supply. So if you apply the law of supply to draw the curve, it will be like this. So what is supply again? Let me, because I think you are engaged to write your roll numbers in the chat box. So let me repeat it again. Given all other things constant, the willingness to sell by a buyer for a certain price is called the supply. Okay. Now, when the price is rising, quantity sold is also rising. So there is a positive or direct relation between the price and quantity sold. And that direct relation is called as the law of supply. Okay. So this much is for the law of supply. Again, just like the demand, if you are moving along the supply curve, it is the change in quantity supplied. You can move from here to here, here to here, here to here, like this along the same supply curve. This is called change in quantity supplied. Okay, here it is increasing as I am moving along this line upward. So that means my quantity supplied is increasing, but it is the change in quantity supplied. It may fall. Quantity supplied is falling. That may also happen. But I am always on the same supply curve. So this is called the change in quantity supplied. The movement along the same supply curve is called change in quantity supplied. Okay, just like the demand. Now, market supply curve. That much is clear. Any question from the law of supply or the concept of supply? Do you have any question from supply up to this slide? Do you have any query, ask?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So the market supply curve. In case of market supply curve, look, again, just like the demand, there are two individuals. There are two sellers. This is seller number one, this is seller number two. Both sellers have their own supply curves. The slopes are different. One is steeper, another is flatter, no issue. It may happen. So now, this is their responsiveness with respect to change in price. So it differs. The thing is, if you are going to draw the market supply curve, just like the market demand curve, it is the horizontal summation of individual supply curve. Okay? So market supply curve is the horizontal summation of individual supply curve. How to do that? Given the price P1, what is quantity supplied by farm 1? Q1. What is quantity supplied by farm 2? Q2. So what is the market supply at P1? Q1 plus Q2. So this is in the second diagram, Q1 and Q2. So you are getting a point corresponding to P1 in the second diagram. Similarly, you can get another line, another price P2, and you have to find out farm 1 supply, farm 2 supply. Adding these two supply, you are getting a point in the second diagram, and joining P2 and that point, you will get another point on your in the second diagram. If you join all those points, you will get this yellow line. Okay? This is also positively sloped. Okay, this is also positively sloped, but definitely it is flatter than all this supply curve because you are making the horizontal summation. So the yellow line is the market supply curve, very similar to the derivation of the market demand curve. Okay. So any question from the derivation of market supply curve? If you have any query. Do you have any query?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So the next one, shift of the supply curve. Just like the shift of the demand curve. Again, it is if it is shift, then it is called change in supply. Initially, the movement along the supply curve, it was a change in quantity supplied, and here it is change in supply. So if your supply curve is the red line, the initial supply curve is the red line, and there is an increase in supply, remember increase in supply, then the supply curve will shift to the right. Okay, and it will be that yellow line. Look, those lines are parallel to each other. Okay? Why? Because this is the supply curve of the same individual or the same farm, same industry, same market. So these supply curves are representing actually a same set of people. So that is why they are parallel to each other. But if there are two other individuals, two other firm, two other industry, two other market, two different market, then the supply curve may not be parallel. Okay, their shapes, the slopes may be different. But if they are maintaining law of supply, then definitely they must be upward rising. That is common, but the slope is may not be same. But here it is same because we are considering a single individual here. Okay, so if there is an increase in supply, the supply curve will shift from the red line to the yellow line, that is 1 to 3. Okay, and if there is a fall in supply, then the supply curve will shift to the left. Okay, so that red line will shift it to the green line. Okay, so this is the fall in supply. Increase in supply, fall in supply. I think this is very easy to understand if you can understand the change in demand. Because in case of demand also, the same type of movement was there. Can you check? Just go back. Look, increase in demand means the movement to the right. Fall in demand means the movement to the left. And here also, Here also, increase in supply means movement to the right and fall in supply means movement to the left. Okay, so that movement is very similar for the demand and supply side. Now the question is why your supply is changing, why your supply curve is shifting. Hmm. So for that you have to know the reason behind the change in supply. So these are some reasons. There may be some other reasons, but these are actually from the ManQ. So first one is the input price. If input price, look, if input price is increasing, okay, input means the raw materials, okay, the raw materials which are used to produce the commodity. So when the price of those raw materials in economics, it is called input. So when the input price is increasing, then the cost of production is increasing, right? Cost of production is increasing because, for example, labor is one of those inputs. So if the price of labor, that is wage rate, is increasing, then for the producer, cost of production has increased. And if it is increasing, they will reduce the supply. Okay, so when they are reducing the supply curve is shifting from 1 to 2. That means from red to green. And if it will fall, if the price of the input is falling, then it will be 1 to 3. Okay, so this is how input price is influencing supply. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now the second point, expectation. Expectation means, say the supplier is expecting that tomorrow the price will fall. Say the supplier is expecting that tomorrow the price of his commodity will fall. So what he will do? Today he wants to sell most of his commodity, right? Because he knows that he is thinking that, okay, tomorrow I may not get that price what I am getting today. Tomorrow the price of my commodity is going to fall. So it's better to sell as much as possible today. So what he will do today? He will increase the supply from 1 to 3. And if opposite is there, just opposite, you can understand your supply curve will move from 1 to 2. If he is thinking that tomorrow the price is going to increase, then he will hold his commodity and he can, so that he can sell it tomorrow. So today he will reduce the supply in the market so that he can sell more tomorrow. Okay, so this is what he is doing based on his expectation. This is based on the expectation. It may not be the true. The reality may not be according to his expectation. It may be quite different. But okay, based on the expectation, he is doing this. Now, what is technology? Technology means, definitely technology is improving. Technology cannot go that side. So if technology is improving, then given the input price, given the supply of input, he can produce more. Okay, because he is getting better technology now. So that is how his supply curve can move from 1 to 3. Okay, number of seller. This is something related with the market supply. Now, if the number of seller, you can understand, if the number of seller is increasing, say if there is another seller 3 and he is selling anywhere, it may not be here. His supply curve may be here. But he is selling certain amount of commodity, say Q3, then the market supply will be Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. So it will be somewhere here. So if the number of supplier is increasing, then definitely the supply curve will shift to the right. And if the number of supplier is falling, then the supply curve will shift to the left. Okay. And there are some other reasons. If you want, you can share your idea regarding the reasons behind the change in supply. If you have any other point, you can share with us. Do you have any point which you want to share?
On price of relate like other goods.
Yes. Yes, maybe price of other good. If Now price of other good, okay, if price of some related good is increasing, then the seller, no, price
Ma'am,
of,
if a producer sees that there is more profit earned in producing some other good, he might shift his production to that particular good.
in that case, the producer has to produce more than one good. No, that is what
Ma'am,
you
no,
are
ma'am,
telling.
totally shifting. I'm talking of totally shifting because I had this point also when I read in plus two. That is why,
Yes, yes.
yeah.
Just explain your point. Actually, we cannot understand your point. That is why I'm asking.
Ma'am, I'm telling that if there is some other commodity and a producer finds that it is more profitable to get into that production, so that is
Mhm.
why if he gets into that production, then also the supply of this new profitable commodity will increase.
Okay, okay. So the producer has shifted his all inputs and everything to produce that new commodity. So he just
Yes,
stopped
ma'am.
production of the initial commodity.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that may also possible. That may also possible. In that case, the production will be zero. The current production will be just zero. It will shift. Actually, it will shift to that line. Okay, so that means the new supply curve will be the vertical one. Whatever price you are offering to that producer, he is not interested to produce any more commodity. He has just stopped the production and he has shifted its production. He has just stopped the production and he has shifted his production inputs, everything to produce something new.
Ma'am, mean to say the supply curve is overlapping the y-axis. Am I right?
Yes, yes, because he has stopped the production now. If you stop the production, then what will happen? That means, what is the significance of that? That means, whatever price I am offering to you, you are not interested to produce. So the price is moving along the vertical line, but the quantity sold is zero. So this is the vertical line.
Yes,
Got
ma'am.
it? Because your decision is not to produce. So that will be the only option. No? The vertical line will be the option actually. So this is the reason behind the supply. Now tell me, I have finished my demand and supply analysis. Look, there is no elasticity concept, and that part I am going to discuss in the next class. But before that, this is just the basic concept about the demand and supply, which is apparently very easy, but it has a great implication, get great importance for our remaining course. If you have any query anywhere, anything, you may thinking that okay, don't I should not ask the question, it may be very silly. Don't think like this, huh? Just ask. You are the student, it is the time to learn. So nothing is silly. No question is silly in that sense. If you are thinking that I should ask it, just ask. Okay, make
Ma'am,
yourself clear.
the first page of the today's presentation, in the first page slide, I can't understand the second point. Yes. Can
Okay.
you repeat this one?
Yes, yes, yes. When price is rising, quantity sold is also rising. If price is rising, that means if the price of a commodity is increasing, the producer is watching it. The seller is not the producer, I should say the seller. The seller is watching it. Huh? The seller is very much interested. Seller is encouraged because he is watching the price of his own commodity is increasing. So what will be his decision? He is encouraged and he has decided to sell more, because if he can sell more, he is earning more. The price is increasing, so that increasing price is actually the uh, what can I say, that is a reward kind of thing for the seller, and that is why he is selling more and more. So the price is increasing, and so the quantity sold is also increasing. Okay, he is supplying more commodity.
Ma'am, can we write that quantity supplied is also rising
Yes,
when
quantity
price is?
supplied means quantity. Okay, you have some question on this term sold.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, I'm accepting, and I'm just changing. Uh, Okay, quantity supplied. That is what you are selling now.
Yes, ma'am.
Just a minute. Let me change it. Are you happy?
Yes, ma'am. Very much happy.
Okay. So the price is rising, quantity supplied is also rising. Hmm? And now any other question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, does change in supply include the change in slope of the supply?
What you are asking?
Ma'am, does in the change in supply,
Yes.
does it also include the change in the slope of the straight line?
No, actually, if it is for a single individual, generally the slope is not changing. I know what you are asking now. You are asking that if the supply is stopped, then why it is with the vertical line? So the slope has changed. That is
Yes,
what you are
ma'am.
going to ask now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in that case, what happened? This is something extreme. When you stop the production, that means you are just leaving the market. Huh? You are just leaving the market, so it is an extreme case. Actually, your supply curve was shifted like, where is my pointer? Just a minute. Your supply curve is shifted to the left, to the left, to the left, and finally where to stop. Finally, whatever price, actually, when you are going to leave the market, what is the implication of that? The implication is that there is no supply curve from your side. Huh? There is no supply curve from your side. So what is your responsiveness? How to show your responsiveness when you are not selling a single commodity in the market? So your responsiveness is along the vertical line. Price is changing. I am offering you more and more price, but you are not interested to sell. So you are on the vertical line. So you are in the extreme position. You are not in this market. Okay, you are not in this field. You are not in this field. You are here. You are somewhere outside this margin. Okay, and along this vertical line you are moving. So I can say that is your supply curve. Actually, there is no supply curve from your side. But your response is the movement along the vertical line. From your side, there is no supply curve.
So, ma'am, it is an extreme condition.
Yes, it is an extreme. You are going to leave the market. You left the market.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, so in the point, number of sellers, the number of sellers is increasing. The supply curve is shifting to the right. Ma'am, in that case also, when the number of sellers is will increase, the supply curve will flatten more. So there also the slope will change.
Which one? This one, the number of seller.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what is your question?
Ma'am, when the number of sellers will increase,
Mhm.
the excuse me, the supply curve will flatten more. So there also the slope uh, of the curve should change.
That is the case of the market supply card. Okay, when the
Okay,
number
ma'am.
of seller is increasing, as I am saying, Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3, then that will be somewhere here, and the line will be more flat. It will be flatter. So market supply curve will be flatter, but the individual supply curve it will shift. It will shift because now think. Okay, let me explain that point again. What I am saying, what I am trying to say, that the total market size is fixed. Okay, so initially there are 10 number of sellers. Now the number of seller has increased to 20. As the market size is same, initially the total market was divided among those 10, and now it is divided among the 20. Okay, so what is the market share per supplier? It is falling for a given price. Initially, the market is 1/10. Now for each seller, the market is 1 by 20. So it is less. So for given price, as your share is falling, your supply curve has shifted to the left. This is how the supply curve of individual is shifting. But for the market as a whole, it will be flatter. You get my point?
Okay, ma'am. For an individual, the supply curve will shift to
Yes,
the
yes,
left.
yes, yes. Because the
Okay,
market
ma'am.
share is falling per individual.
Okay, ma'am. So here we are considering for an individual.
Yes, yes. Everything with respect to individual.
Okay, ma'am.
These all those points are for the individuals. Huh?
Okay, ma'am. Understood, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Thank
can
you,
you
ma'am.
repeat? Ma'am,
Which one? The last one.
ma'am, input price.
Okay, input price. I'm telling you that say the input price is increasing. Huh? So what is the how it will influence the supplier? The supplier's cost of production has increased, right? Do you
Yes,
agree
ma'am.
with me? Okay. So if cost of production is increasing, then you have to reduce your supply. Given the price, you have to reduce your supply, otherwise it will be a loss. Okay, if your
Yes, ma'am.
revenue is fixed and your cost is increasing, if your revenue is fixed and the cost is increasing, how to make up it? You have to reduce the quantity sold, you have to reduce quantity produced. Okay, so that is how your supply curve has shifted to that green line. Given the price, if cost of production has increased, then you have to reduce your quantity produced, quantity sold. Look, here one thing is there. We just assume that the producer is the seller. It may not be. But in general, we will discuss our topic with this assumption that producer is the seller. So you may call it as a producer, you may call it as a seller. They are same.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, if I'm a producer and I'm making a less profit due to increase in cost price, then I think I will try to produce more
How to produce?
to
Your
increase
income
that.
is fixed. Your income is
Ma'am,
fixed.
oh, okay.
Your price of the commodity is fixed. Then how to produce more?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am, understood.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. When
Ma'am,
we
it
will
is
discuss, okay, before going to your question, let me explain that when we will go in details analysis, price is actually the average revenue and the cost is represented by average cost, then you can understand it in a better way. So why we are reducing the production? Because we are actually, let me tell
We
you,
have limited resources.
yes, we are actually comparing average revenue and average cost. So
Yes,
here,
ma'am.
as average revenue
Got
is
it.
constant and my average cost is increasing, it will give me a loss. So it's better to reduce my production. So that we will discuss. That we will discuss, not to worry, that we will discuss in details about the cost and production. But for the time being, you can understand now how to produce more, because my cost of production is increased and my income is almost fixed. So I have to reduce my production. Okay. And the next question?
yes, ma'am. Here it is here it is told that willingness to sell
Yes.
for a buyer is increasing, but if we see from the buyer's point that
Oh
then
no,
their
no,
demand.
sorry. Yes. Seller. It should be seller. Look. Willingness to sell by a seller. Definitely. We are not concerned about buyer right now. Okay. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
It's seller. There are so many mistakes in a single site.
Okay, ma'am.
Any other question? Look, these things are very much interesting and many questions are arising because very realistic as well. We are facing this type of situation in our daily life. So many questions may arise in your mind. Once it is coming, just ask me. as you are asking, na, let's check. As you are asking, I found two mistakes in my single slide. So this is how it may happen. So you are free to ask.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, can you repeat the number of sellers?
Or this part.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm telling you that for a single individual, if the total market size is fixed and number of seller is increasing, then for each individual seller, the market share is falling. Initially, if he was catering say 20% of the total market, now he cannot cater 20% because he has to face competition. More sellers are there to sell the same commodity. Okay, so then what will happen? Then he has to reduce his quantity sold. Because the total market is divided among more individuals, more sellers than before. So that is how initially if it was Q1, now that Q1 is not that, now that Q1 is not possible for farm 1 to sold. So farm 1 has to reduce Q1 to somewhere here. Okay, and why he is doing this? Because more farms are entering. So this is some factor which is outside, which is other than the price. So that is why the supply curve will shift inward to the left.
Okay, ma'am, understood.
Now, if there is any factor which is influencing the supply other than price, then the supply curve will shift. And if the factor is the price itself, then it is the movement along the supply curve. Okay. The supply will change, definitely. If any factor is influencing, the supply will change. But in which way, that matters. If the price is changing, then the supply will change along the same supply curve. If other than price, other factors are changing, like expectation, like number of sellers, etc., etc. If those factors are changing and supply is changing because of that, it is shown by the shifting of the supply curve. Maybe left, maybe to the right.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, environment has any role in the change of supply?
How? Explain.
Ma'am, in the case of a seasonal fruit, vegetables, mm,
Yes, this is something related with the input price. If you are trying to produce grapes in winter, the cost of production is more. So that is why the price of the grapes are available in the market, but the price of grapes is very high nowadays. Okay, so this is something related with the environment is influencing the cost of production.
okay, ma'am. Ma'am, if there is any natural calamity, then the whole orange field or any other fruits
Yes,
field
this is
has
input
damage.
price, input price, input price.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, ma'am, like the seasonal fruits which she told that if I try to produce grapes now,
Hmm.
so it will include more input. But on the other hand, in the market, the price is also increasing. So what will happen?
No, why the price is increasing? The
Uh,
price of input is increasing. The environment which is required to produce the grapes is not the environment in the winter. Okay, you cannot find that environment in the winter season. So you have to make that environment artificially. So that creates a cost. So this cost is included as an input cost. It's just like cost of production has increased. You have to give some what can I say, that fertilizers and artificial things you have to input so that you can get the grapes, right? Yes.
yes, ma'am. But in the market, the price is also increased.
Yes, that is why the price is increasing. As the
Okay, ma'am.
cost of production is increasing, that is why the price is increasing.
Okay, ma'am. So the supply will
Actually,
change.
yes, yes. What you are asking, this is actually depending on the interaction between the demand and supply. We are discussing only about the supply. What you are asking, this is something related with when we will discuss about the demand and supply simultaneously. The demand is fixed, supply is falling, that is why the price is increasing. That is the answer of your question.
Okay, ma'am.
And that you can understand when we will club the demand and supply analysis, and we will discuss it simultaneously.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Anything else? Okay. So let me share my screen for the questions. Some questions you may give answer, you may not give the answer, don't worry. Which portions you cannot give the answer, you have to wait for the next discussion. This is from the model question paper, but the thing is, I have to take the snapshot and you may not see it. Let me enlarge it. That may be visible. Okay, is it? Oh, Baba, it's very hazy. Can you see this?
No, ma'am, it's very easy.
Yes.
No, ma'am.
So,
Define opportunity cost and
yes, yes.
cost.
So your eyesight is very good. He can read it. But I have the book in my hand, so don't worry. I am reading. The first question is define opportunity cost and the cost benefit. The first one is the opportunity cost. So you can actually, you may read this if you are using a larger screen, that means a desktop or laptop. If you are using your smartphone, it is very difficult to read. Define the opportunity cost. All of you know what is opportunity cost. Okay.
Ma'am, can you enlarge it vertically?
Vertically. Okay. Let me try. It will be more hazy. Just wait. Look. Better?
Yes, ma'am, it's more easy.
It's better than the previous one.
Yes. So okay. First, no, not to worry. I'm reading. Huh? First one is the opportunity cost, and the second one is the cost benefit. So you have to define, only define. So if this type of questions are coming, what to write? First of all, you have to define, because this is a question. And then after, with next 2 or 3 lines, you have to try to give an example. Okay, that much. So 5 or 6 sentences maximum. So define opportunity cost, the next best alternative sacrificed for a given function is called the opportunity cost of that function. And then give an example, anything you want, just give an example. A cost benefit means that principle, where you have to compare which one is better. I can't remember. I think it was principle 3 or principle 4, like that, where that aeroplane company was thinking what is the cost and what
Ma'am,
is the
marginal
benefit
cost
of
and
that.
marginal
Yes,
benefit
yes,
one.
yes. This is principle 3.
Third point.
Yes.
Principle 3.
Yes, principle 3. So that you can also use. Then example. You should not give that example of aeroplane which was in a textbook. You may get any example from your real life and give it. So what is that? Actually, at the margin, people are thinking, what is the extra cost he has to bear and what is the extra benefit he will get from that spending. So he's comparing always in this way. So that much you have to tell about the definition and then an example. Done. Now question number 2. Explain the relation between efficiency and comparative advantage. So efficiency in terms of the opportunity cost And comparative advantage, you just explain what is comparative advantage, what is efficiency, and then the relation. If the opportunity cost is least, that means your efficiency to produce that commodity is most. So you have comparative advantage over that commodity and you should produce it and sell it. That is the theory of comparative advantage. Is it clear? Question number 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now look, as I was telling you repeatedly that which type of questions are coming from the positive and normative one. There are some sentences. There are actually 4 sentences. You have to explain whether they are positive or normative. The first sentence is an increase in minimum wage will increase the rate of unemployment. Positive or normative?
Positive.
Yes, because you can check it. Don't write it is a positive statement and finish. No, you have to explain why you are thinking it as a positive. Okay, so then you have to write that it is positive because one can check whether the statement is true or false. There are some data support, so you can check from the reality. Now the second question. The government should raise the sales tax on tobacco to reduce the cigarette smoking.
Normative.
Normative. Should.
Should. Or
Should, ought to be. So these are always for the normative. Generally, I should not say always, but generally these are for the normative because this is my opinion. It may not be true and I cannot check it. Now, 3. You cannot check my opinion. If the fact is that this imposition of sales tax on tobacco is reducing cigarette smoking, then this is a positive. Okay, because that you can check whether sales tax can reduce the cigarette smoking or not, that you can check. But this is my opinion. How to check the opinion? No way. So this is normative. Now the third sentence. Equality should get more priority than cost benefit.
normative.
Normative.
Normative. Fourth sentence. Demand for gasoline falls as price rises.
Positive.
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 It's positive. They are trying to explain the law of demand. So this is positive. Now question number 4. Explain why efficiency is not sufficient to address equity issues. So you have to explain that principle of equity versus efficiency. Why efficiency is not sufficient to address equity issues. Because if you are giving more stress on efficiency, your equity will go on. In a single sentence, I can say in this way, but you have to give answer in properly. You have to explain what is efficiency and what is equity at first. Then define how there is a trade-off between efficiency and equity. If you are giving more stress on efficiency, then you have to leave equity. Equity will be sacrificed. Okay. So again, 6 or 7 sentences because these are actually the short questions. So short question actually before semester system, the short questions, these are 4 marks. So these are all 4 marks questions. And in case of that positive normative, it is actually for 2 marks question. But nowadays you have to face 2 marks questions, no 4 marks as such. The fifth question, incentives are crucial in analyzing how markets work. Explain with an example. So you may give that example of, okay, let me tell you that sentence again. Incentives are crucial in analyzing how markets work. Okay, so you can give that example of that seat belt, right? Seat belt was
Yes, ma'am.
seatbelt was there to give the incentive of the drivers, the safety. More safety is the incentive, but the application is something different. So that example or any example, whatever you want. So this, look here, for the, you can understand when you are giving the answer, you are free to use your example. Huh? So this is how you can make your answer unique, right? More attractive your example, more score will be there. Not only that example, the way you are explaining your answer, this is that carries the marks. So the, if it is not like mathematics questions where the answer must be same, definitely there the ultimate answer is same. It is either it is a positive sentence or it is a normative sentence, so that part must be same. But the way you are explaining your view, the way you are explaining your argument, your argument process should be different from others. So this is how you can score better. Okay. For example, give an example. So that example is not given. You can choose from anywhere. You can think, you can write, you can read, then you can write whatever you want, you can do. And this is how you can make your answer something unique. Okay. So this is the specialty of this subject. It's not like physics or chemistry where the process will be same, the answer will be same. So it is not possible for the teacher to understand whether they have copied from someone else or not. But here it is very easy to understand, very easy to the teacher to understand whether it is copied from somewhere else or not. And if it is unique, definitely it will give you a better score. But unique doesn't mean it will be wrong. You must follow the right way, but the way you are presenting your answer should be something different. Now question number 6. Why do economists oppose policies that restrict trade among nations? That means actually this is something critical. Okay, let me read the question again. Why do economists oppose policies that restrict trade among nations? So the question is apparently very difficult, but actually the question is very easy in the sense that you have to give the answer why no trade is not allowed. Whether autarky is not good, trade is good. Why trade is better than autarky? Why trade is better than no trade? You have to explain this. Okay. So you can explain in terms of opportunity cost, you can explain in terms of gains from trade, but as it is a short question, don't try to use that table. Because that rancher farmer table, it will take a lot of time to explain. Don't go for all those. If it is possible, just explain logically. Can you try it right now? Just make a try.
Ma'am, I have written it because it is in the exercise and I tried it before. Can I tell you now?
Yes.
Economists tend to oppose policies that restrict trade because the practice of free trade allows for both countries involved to benefit from the principle of comparative advantage.
Okay, this is good. But then after you can just add that with trade, it is possible to consume the commodity bundle, which was not possible given his production pattern. Given his PPC, don't go for PPC, right? Is given his production pattern, he may not consume the commodity bundle, which he can consume if there is the opportunity of trade. So this is how more options of consumption is there, and This is the gains from trade, we can say. So that is why trade is the better option for the economy.
Ma'am, can you repeat again?
Yes, I'm telling you that given his production pattern, he may not consume the commodity bundles which he can with trade.
Okay, ma'am.
So more options for consumption is there with trade as compared to without trade. So it's better to allow the trade. That much we can get from our rancher farmer, so we are free to write it. Consumption opportunity is more if it is trade. If it is no trade, you cannot go beyond your PPC. But if it is trade, you can go beyond your PPC and you can consume. So more options are available. So options are always welcome. So trade is good in that sense.
Ma'am, what should be added to my answer? Can you repeat this line only, please?
Yes, I am telling you that if given the production pattern, the consumption is consumption opportunity is less than the consumption opportunity with trade. Okay, so more consumption opportunity is there if trade is allowed. More consumption opportunity is there if trade is allowed. Okay. This is the gains from trade. So, restricted trade is not welcomed for the nation. Fine. Okay. Now the last look at the unit 2. Again the short question from unit 2. Why is price mechanism said to be an instrument of exchange? Okay, don't go for it. Don't go for it. Don't go for it because we need the demand supply interaction here. Don't go for it. Okay, let me go to the next one. No. Yes, this part. Okay, that will be hazy again, I hope. Let me check. This is not the short question, huh? This is large question. Long question. Oh, beautiful. So let me read it out. The first question of section B. Section B was for the long questions. So first question, huh? Read it, listen it carefully. If you want, you can write it again. You have got a gift check of 1,000. Okay, you have got a gift check of 1,000 rupees from your uncle. Okay, you have got a gift check of 1,000 rupees from your uncle. You have a choice. You have a choice of spending it. You have a choice of spending it to buy a fancy salwar suit. You have a choice of spending it to buy a fancy salwar suit. Now, fancy salwar suit now, or making a fixed deposit in the bank for 1 year, or making a fixed deposit in the bank for 1 year. Making a fixed deposit in the bank for 1 year at 7% interest rate. Okay, at 7% interest rate. Do you get that? What is the opportunity cost of buying the salwar suit now? What is the opportunity cost of buying salwar suit now? Make it short. Okay. So can you hear me? By the way, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am, you're audible.
Fine. So I'm reading that question again. You have got a gift check of 1000 rupees from your uncle. You have a choice of spending it to buy a fancy salwar suit now or making a fixed deposit in the bank for 1 year with 7% interest rate. Okay, so this is the situation. The question is, what is the opportunity cost of buying salwar suit now? What is the opportunity cost of buying salwar suit now? Try to give answer of this question. I am interested to listen from you.
Ma'am, will the simple interest formula be applicable?
Yes.
Then
Because
it's
it's a
70.
70. Yes.
1070 rupees.
Yes. 1070 or 70. Now the question is coming.
70 is the opportunity cost and 1070 is the total cost after 1 year, which we will get from the bank.
Yes. 70 rupees is the opportunity cost because 1000
Ma'am,
is
as
already.
it is, as in the question, it is written that what is the opportunity cost now? As now we can't get the 10.
The sacrifice of 70 rupees is the opportunity cost of purchasing salwar suit now. Is that okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you please repeat?
Yes. The opportunity cost of buying salwar suit now is the 70 rupees, which you will get as an interest after 1 year. So that is the opportunity cost, that interest rate, the interest you have sacrificed, is the opportunity cost of buying salwar suit now. And that interest will be 70 rupees. So the opportunity cost of buying salwar suit is the 70 rupees. Okay. Now the question, okay, the question is little bit lengthy. Oh, Babri, it's a long question. Okay, I'm not going to read that question again because it's a very long question. And you can see that question number 2 is starting from here and it will end here. So it's a bit lengthy question. I will share that because when I'm going to share it in college LMS, I can make PDF. But when I'm going to show it in slide, then I have to take the screenshot, not the screenshot, that the photo of that book, and you can see the quality of the photo. So it's better to make the PDF and then I will give it in the college LMS. That will be a good option. Okay. And these are very lengthy questions, so it's not possible to read all those questions and you will understand and will give the proper answer. Okay, I will share those questions in the college LMS. And before that, I have to ask them that what is happening with the LMS so that my uploading is not visible to you. Okay. So I'm very sorry. I was prepared with the questions, but because of that visibility and because of that problem of software, I cannot show it properly. But if you want to ask anything, you can free to ask.
Ma'am, can you please repeat the answer for the efficiency quality example, which was there in the first page?
Which one?
Ma'am, the
Efficiency.
first page. Example for the trade-off between efficiency quality, some that question.
Okay.
Ma'am, question 4.
Yes. Explain why efficiency is not sufficient to address equity issues, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So for that, you have to write first of all what is efficiency and what is equity. So definitions are there. So then after you have to say that if you want to get equity, that means you are going to distribute equitably the resources or the revenue of the nation, then you have to sacrifice efficiency. Because how you can go for that equitable distribution, you have to impose the tax or you have to ask money from the most efficient people of the nation. They will give the money from their income, and that you can share among the poor or disabled individuals, so that the income is equitably distributed. This is how equity
Ma'am,
is
your
there.
voice is cracking. Nothing is properly audible.
Oh, what happened? Okay, let me. Okay, just wait for 1 minute. Yeah, wait for 1 minute.
Oh, okay, okay.
Am I audible now properly, or it is
Yes,
cracking?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
is.
Now it's okay.
Yes, because I cannot connect with some other. Um, I have to I have to go with my BSNL connection. So what I am telling, that if it is equity, that means you have to distribute the revenue or the income of the nation equitably among your people. So how you can do it? You have to take the income from the efficient individuals in terms of tax or anything, and then you have to distribute it among the poor people. Huh. So the efficient section of the country, they are they may not be happy with your activity or with your function, with this function. So the efficiency, they are losing their efficiency in this way. So you are sacrificing the efficiency of the nation to get equity for the nation. So it is not possible to get equity when you are also encouraging, or you are also yes, you are also encouraging the efficiency. So efficiency and equity, they cannot go simultaneously. If you are giving more importance to equity, you have to sacrifice efficiency. So that will be the answer.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, we will give an example also.
If 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 time permits and if marks permit.
Okay, ma'am.
Look,
Ma'am,
there will
is
be a
there,
answer. Yes?
ma'am, is there any paradox between the efficiency and the equity
No,
part?
no paradox. No paradox. No paradox.
Okay.
Where is the paradox?
Ma'am, uh, what example can we give for the efficiency and equity?
Efficiency and equity, actually there is no such example. You have to give that way I'm explaining now, that if you are going to help the poor section of the nation, you have to take the income of the efficient people. You have to take a part of the income of the efficient people in terms of tax or grant, compulsory grant. So, and then you have to distribute it among the poor part. So this is how you are sacrificing your efficiency to get the equity.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, what is the marks for these short questions?
Four.
What about the long ones?
For long one, which I am discussing, the question with the full marks is 8. Okay, but for that part which we have discussed about the opportunity cost, this is not actually the long question in that sense, because it is also 4 marks is okay for that question, that first question. But anyway, in general for the, yes?
How many long questions will come in exam?
Wait for, okay, no, I have the question paper, just a minute. I have the hard copy of the question paper. As you cannot see your question paper, yes, I have it. There are two sections, section A and section B. For section A, the question will be, you have to give 10 answer. Okay, you have to attempt 10 questions. Each question carries 2 marks. We are discussing about the 4 marks because I said to you, this is not for the semester system. This is for part 1, part 2, part 3 system. This is the model question paper for part 1, part 2, part 3. And at that time, there was a 4 marks option. So these questions are generally for the 4 marks, which I am discussing today. But what question you will get, there will be no such section for 4 questions. The 4 marks questions. There is a section A for the semester system. The first section, for the first section, you have to attempt 10 questions. Each question carries 2 marks. Okay, so 2 into 10, so that will be 20 for section A. Okay, 2 marks you can understand. What is natural monopoly? Demand for petrol falls as price rises. Justify whether the statement is positive or normative. So you can understand this is the question for 2 marks. Okay. Do you get my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And section B, there is section B. For section B is a short note section, short note. You have to attempt 3 short notes. For each short note, the full marks is 5. Okay, just the example, explain the concept of opportunity cost. So you have to make a short note on opportunity cost, the full marks is 5. Okay, section C is there. This is a long question. The full marks is 10. For each question, the full marks is 10. So there will be 3 questions. So 3 for the first part, 2 into 10. For the second part, 5 into 3. For the third part, 10 into 3. So full marks is 65. Okay. For first part, for section A, 2 into 10. Section B, 5 into 3. Section C, 10 into 2. Okay. For section A, you have to attempt 10 questions. For section B, you have to attempt 5 questions. For section C, you have to attempt 3 questions. Okay, full marks is 65. 20 plus 15 plus 30. 20 plus 15 plus 30. Okay, and don't worry, 10 marks question doesn't mean that it will be a single question which will carry 10 marks. There may be several short questions. Okay, 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2, 2, and like this. So ultimately, the full marks under each question will be 10. Okay. For example, I can give you. Okay, I have some time. Can I read a question from your semester question paper?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a long question. Section C, long question, full marks is 10. Just listen the question, you can understand the pattern. First statement. Suppose a worker in India can produce 15 computers or 5 tons of grain per month. Okay, 15 computers or 5 tons of grain per month. Suppose a worker in Bangladesh can produce 4 computers or 4 tons of grain per month. So it's very similar to a rancher farmer. Huh? For simplicity, assume that each country has only one worker. Okay. Now question number 1. Graph the production possibility frontier for each country. Very easy. Either 15
Yes,
or
ma'am.
5 or 4. So you have to graph, that will be again that farmer rancher kind of PPC, straight line downward sloping PPC. For this question, full marks is 2. So PPC for Bangladesh 1, PPC for India 1. Question number 2. What is the opportunity cost of one computer in India? What is the opportunity cost of one computer in India?
3.
1 by 3.
Ma'am, 1 by 3 tons of grain.
Yes. 15 computer is equivalent to 5 tons. So 1 computer is equivalent to 5 by 15. So 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 is the opportunity cost of one computer in India. Full marks is 1. What is the opportunity cost of 1 ton of grain in India? It will be 3.
3.
Full marks is 1. Now question number 3. What is the opportunity cost of one computer in Bangladesh? It will be 1. Full
1.
marks is 1. What is the opportunity cost of 1 ton of grain in Bangladesh? 1.
1.
Because it's
1.
4. So 1. Full marks is 1. Next question is, which country has the comparative advantage in producing computer? Which country has the comparative advantage in producing
Bangladesh.
grain?
Ma'am,
For each question, full marks is half. Okay. Now the next question. Each country should tend towards specialization in the production of which good? So where he has comparative advantage, he will produce that. Na? And why? So why? The full marks is 2 here. Each country should tend towards specializing in the production of which good? So for Bangladesh, it will be
Ma'am, it will be 10.
10.
And for India, it is computer.
Yes. For India, it is computer, and for Bangladesh, it will be grain. So you have to explain why. That means the explanation is again easy. India has comparative advantage or the least opportunity cost of producing computer. So India has comparative advantage over computer production. It should produce computer. Bangladesh has least opportunity cost of producing grain. So Bangladesh has comparative advantage over grain production. Bangladesh should produce grain. Okay, that will be the answer. And the full marks is 2. Explain the range of relative price of computer in terms of grain for which both countries would benefit. So the range, it will be in terms of price, not only in terms of price, in terms of other commodity. Full marks is 2. So you can understand the pattern of question. under the long question section. The full marks is 10, but it is divided in several subsections. 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 like this. So it is actually very scoring.
Ma'am, what will be the answer of the last question?
It will be in terms
Last
of, no,
part
it will be
question.
in terms of the grain, the relative price of computer in terms of grain. Explain the range of relative price of computer in terms of grain for which both countries would benefit. So what will be the
Yes, ma'am.
what will be the minimum price of computer and what will be the maximum price of computer in terms of grain? So what is the opportunity cost of computer in case of India? 3. No,
Yes,
no, no.
ma'am.
1 by 3, no?
Yes, ma'am. 1 by 3.
1 by 3. And for Bangladesh, it is 1.
1.
1.
That is the range. 1 to 1 by 3. Because it is said, na, the relative price of computer in terms of grain. If the relative price of computer is more than 1, no country will produce. And if the price is less than 1, still no country will produce. So it should be within the opportunity cost. Okay, the price
Ma'am,
should be, yes, sir.
ma'am, I didn't understand why no country will produce if it is less than 1.
It is not possible, na? Look, if the price of computer in terms of grain. Okay, so price of computer in terms of grain in India, it is 1 by 3 and in Bangladesh, it is 1. So where it is less, 1 by 3, so India is producing computer. Okay, so if the price is less than 1 by 3, so it is not possible for both the countries to offer this price. Because their price range is 1 by 3 to 1. That is the exchange rate. Okay, that is the opportunity cost range of both the countries. So they cannot offer any price less than 1 by 3 and they cannot charge any price more than 1 because this is beyond their capacity. That is the range of the price of computer in terms of grain.
So, ma'am, the answer should be greater than 1 by 3 and less than 1.
The range is 1. 1 is the highest value and 1 by 3 is the lowest value.
So, any values between 1 by 3 and 1, excluding 1 by 3 and 1.
Ma'am, in the explanation part, we should write why any of other countries which have the opportunity cost below 1 by 3 and mean to say the opportunity cost.
Just explain, don't incorporate any third country. Just explain if somehow the price is below these or greater that, then it is not possible for those countries to offer that price because this is beyond their option, beyond their capacity. Their range is this. So price should be in between these because they are exchanging the commodities. It should be within their opportunity cost.
Okay, ma'am, understood.
Okay, so this is how you are getting the question under different sections. Full marks will be 65. So that much I have to discuss for today. For the next class, I will discuss that interaction part, interaction between the demand and supply, so that you can understand. You have a lot of questions from the demand and supply, that if this will happen, then what is that and then. So when we will discuss both demand and supply simultaneously, you can understand. It's better.
Ma'am, one question.
Yes.
Ma'am, there was a question in ManQ about the shape of an inferior good, demand curve of an inferior good. Ma'am, how would it look like? Because we have to compare income and price.
For inferior good, okay, look, for inferior good, there is law of demand. So for inferior good also, this is actually a question to confuse you. there will be simple demand curve. If it is given good, if it is given good, which is a special type of inferior good, then there is violation of law of demand. But in general, for inferior good, there is law of demand.
Okay. Ma'am, so in that case, for inferior goods, we assume that when income increases, the
Demand is
demand for
falling.
inferior goods decreases. So, ma'am, in
Yeah.
that case, we won't take income and price as income and quantity demanded as both the axes. We will take price only.
When you are going to draw your demand curve, you never measure your income in either of these axes. You have to draw price in one axis and quantity in another axis.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
But income
Ma'am,
is some other factor.
okay, ma'am. Okay,
You
ma'am.
shift your demand curve. You cannot move along the demand curve when your income is changing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other question?
Ma'am, in that graph, it will be a negatively sloped curve.
Yes, normal demand curve.
Okay, ma'am.
But you can mention that part. Okay, given good is a type of inferior good. If given good is there, then there is violation of law of demand. Otherwise, in general, inferior good is maintaining law of demand. So downward sloping demand curve is there for the inferior good in general.
Okay, ma'am, the good is given good.
Yes. The given good is the only exception.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you repeat the fact of Revlin effect once again?
Which one you are asking?
Revlin effect. A violation of law of demand. There is topic of Revlin effect. You told
Veblen
yes.
Veblen effect. Veblen effect is something exception to the law of demand. Okay. Veblen effect is something exception. Actually, what happened? Just a minute. Just a minute. I have to answer that question as well. Actually, what happened, Veblen effect is a type of good when the price is increasing, your demand is also increasing. Because just to show, for example, you have a very luxury type of car in your garage. So that shows your status. So just to show your status, you are going to purchase the commodity whose price is relatively high. The same thing you are getting from any four-wheeler, but you are not happy. Just to show your status, you are going to purchase that car whose price is very high. So what is happening with your demand? The price is increasing, your demand is increasing. Right? Because that increasing price is the representative of your status. That, okay, look, I can purchase the commodity at higher price. So this is the Veblen effect. The violation of law.
Okay, ma'am. Understood.
Ma'am, what about the natural monopoly?
Oh, natural monopoly, I am going to discuss. Huh? I'm going to discuss it in the class. It is in the syllabus. I will discuss. I have not finished my 2 yet. I have a part
Okay,
left.
okay, ma'am.
Any other question?
Ma'am,
Okay.
ma'am, how much marks was that last part of that long
30.
question?
30. 3 question, per question 10 marks, so 34 marks.
No, ma'am, in the last part question.
Oh, 2.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So we will meet tomorrow, huh?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.